Welcome to Seed Friday, everyone. So today's Seed Friday is Pay It Forward. So I have a quick testimony. So a few weeks ago, I did a seed and I was in a store. A young lady I saw, God told me to pay for her groceries. Um, I did it. I was obedient with that. And that was about a month ago. So fast forward to today. I'm in a restaurant going to get some food, some lunch for my husband and I. And this gentleman standing off to the side. I walk in, there was about five gentlemen in front of me, and there's a gentleman standing off to the side waiting on his food. Well, the gentleman standing off to the side said, "Hey, God told me to pay for y'all's food," talking about the gentleman that was in front of me. And there was one gentleman who was like, "Oh my gosh, you mean you're going to pay for all of our foods? You mean like all five of us?" And he was like, "Yes, sir." He said, "God told me to do it, so I'm going to do it." He said, "Oh my gosh, are you sure, sir?" And I don't know what jumped in me to say. I jumped in the conversation. I said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "Sir, don't ask him, is he okay? He said he was going to pay for it." I said, "Sir, take your blessing and just thank God." And he said, "You're right. Oh, God, I thank you." I thought that man was going to jump through the roof and just, he threw his hands up. He didn't care what was going on around him. And he just kept thanking God, thanking God. It was almost like it wasn't so much the money, but it was just someone that thought that just thought enough to not even think about it and just said, "I'm going to do it." And I became overjoyed, and I began to thank God and say, "Wow, that's a blessing." I said, "Wow, that's amazing." And one of the five gentlemen stood off to the side of me and he said, "Man, that's a blessing. Oh my gosh, thank you, sir." And then the gentleman looks at me and says, somebody, I've talked to the Lord, and the Lord said that I was going to go into, no, he said, I walked into my house, a brand new house that I didn't never have to pay for. And he said, all I have to pay is taxes. And I said, wow, that's something I was telling my husband that I prayed about. And that's what I'm hoping, if it's in God's will to do, is walk into a home that's already paid for. But needless to say, I became overjoyed because I was like, wow, God did it. I saw it. And I said, "Sir, thank you so much for telling me your testimony, because that's my prayer." And I said, "I know he did it for you. And I know if it's in his will, he can do it for me." And before I got to the counter, the gentleman standing off to the side that paid for the five gentlemen's food, he says, "Ma'am, I got your food too." I said, "Sir," I almost said, "You sure?" But I had to remember what I told the other gentleman. And I said, "Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate that." I ordered my food and my husband's food, and the gentleman paid for everybody's food and went his way. I said all that to say, pay it forward. We know that God, Jesus Christ, is the best example you could ever go by. But he lives inside of us, and he lives inside of us. So the spirit of the living God lives inside of us. So when God tells you to do a thing, do it. Jesus, he paid the ultimate sacrifice for us. He paid it for us. So certain things that we go through, we don't have to go through. He feels and knows everything that we go through. He's concerned about it all. Just pay it forward. Be obedient. Pay it forward. Do what thus said the Lord tells you to do. Somebody, somewhere is watching you. And that, what I saw today, it did my heart joy. Now I've seen it before, but today it just it just stirred up an even bigger fire in me. And I know it did something for those gentlemen because they were overjoyed. It wasn't about the money. It was just about knowing that God, I know that God still speaks, but it's just how he used the gentleman in there today. And how I got a testimony. I heard the testimony from the other gentleman. So I just wanted to get on and share this testimony that I have today and say, pay it forward. God tell you to do a thing, just do it. And he's going to turn around and bless you abundantly. So you're already blessed. But um, yeah, Just pay it forward. That's what I got for Seed Friday today, guys. Until we meet again, I love y'all. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe to Voices of Substance on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I love y'all. And remember to pay it forward. Have an amazing night.